from perspective, I would just say like enable and offer, give to get. This is another Josh Braun. I'm an amalgam of so many people, but right now, write a best practices of recruiting in your vertical and make it specific and give that away. Don't gate it. A one pager, a white paper, a case study, something of value that you give, educate, go for a dialogue, send some statistics and say, well, what do you think of these statistics? I'm not asking for a meeting, not asking for time, not even asking to talk to you. I want an opinion. Let's start a conversation around the interest graph or the economic graph. People are opinionated. They're sitting at home. They're building model ships. They don't know what to do themselves right now. Take up Sudoku or, what am I going to do here? Like David Hasselhoff trivia at this point.
There we go. Some people on our team did their own Jeopardy. There's like these online Jeopardy tools, and we've done them for fun, but they initially started by like intro and like how to learn outreach. And they made this like how to use outreach Jeopardy. It was amazing.
Awesome. Well, yeah. John Sapasi says, can you explain sequencing again and how do you implement it with a tool like SalesLoft? So the category is now defined as sales engagement, and I'm greatly honored because Forrester, which releases a wave, has an analyst now for this, and I may be interviewed for this. So I'm very honored to be a part of the conversation of the future of sales. And that was actually something we should cover, Colin, because I can tell you where the future is going because I've seen it, like 2035, 2050. Ray Kurzweil singularity type stuff. But 101, if you just want to set up your SalesLoft or set up your outreach, I recommend 2 books. One is Leading Sales Development, and it's some of the team at SalesLoft, and then also Sales Engagement, which is some of the team at Outreach. Those are kind of the 2 major sales engagement platforms. Sequencer and sequences is sort of an outreach word, and then cadences is a SalesLoft word, and then plays is a Zant word. Zant has gotten involved. That's insidesales.com. There's a predictive thing. So as far as setting it up, basically what you're doing is you're getting email addresses and you're building out emails in advance, a certain amount of touches over a certain amount of days, and then you're pre-programming the sequencer to send out the emails for you outbound. Just imagine like a HubSpot for inbound or a Marketo or drip marketing, you're turning it outbound. And so you have to be careful about this, depending if you're in Europe or in Canada or in the US and with changing legislation. But most of these systems are privacy by design, GDPR, CCPA compliant. And we're still in a free market economy, and B2B sales is the engine. So if you have value and you're not literally spamming, meaning you're just buying millions of lists and sending everyone a blast, but you're targeting one by one and you're making sure that message is tailored, more so now than ever, then this is a best practice, especially in leading high growth companies.
Justin, I'd love if you could to just dive into specifically within the sequencing. What does it look like when you write an email?
Yeah, so I got really inspired from some stuff from Lee Bartlett and the #1 bestseller. When I came on board at some of these companies, the emails were really long. I found Shakespeare to be right. Brevity is the soul of wit. I found that 1 to 3 word title and 2 to 3 sentence body performs the best. Because you think of it on an iPhone or an Android, you've got the title and then the preview text, and that's going to be the litmus test for when they click. Right? I once had an entire opt-in CRM and just put VIP party next week, who should be on the list, and set a single one-liner as the subject line with an opt-out. No one could tell it came out of sequencer. I had 700 responses within 2 hours. And some of these were august CEOs of companies that hadn't responded in years. So short, painfully short. When you're doing outbound prospecting, it should look like text messages. It should be broken up. You should do pattern interrupts. Someone's real buttoned up C-level. Test spectrums. If someone's very conservative and buttoned up, try, hey, John. Try to be colloquial and informal with the formal. Serious to funny, formal to informal, grammatically perfect, bad grammar, misspell. Wow, she misspelled. It's not a sequencer. That one's really controversial out there in the book, but I got in trouble for that one before.
Yeah. Man, the amount of hate mail that we've gotten on the in the email list because Aaron would write in lowercase, no capitalization, no punctuation. There'd be spelling mistakes, and he's like, "I know there's spelling mistakes. I'm human. I sent it out." We get people who go nuts over that stuff, but yeah, you're engaging with it.
Huge conversion rate from just moving from hi to hey. I actually end every email with thank you. It's 20% conversion increase on big data studies. So every email I ever send from now on for the rest of my life is thanks. It's funny. So you see 8 touches that I'll say thanks. I also use Tapouts because I really don't believe in used car sales. Everything is if it's a fit, if it makes sense to talk, how does your calendar look? So all my CTAs are weasel words or Tapouts, tapping the mat. I'm just going hey, this might be a fit. Maybe it works for you. Not, you're Coca-Cola. Of course my product works for you, right? You got to think of this like scarcity and desirability and non-hunger and disinterest. You can't, calls to action shouldn't be lockdowns like Glengarry Glen Ross. Like, is it going to be Tuesday at 2 p.m. or Thursday at 11 p.m.? So a lot of the schools of thought that prevail on this stuff just don't work. And I tested it, so I know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thought, like, if we do a thought experiment, right, what's going to work better? Like, if you're approaching somebody at a conference, if you stand up and you're toe to toe and you're 6 inches from their face, and you're like, "Hey, I think my product's a great fit for you. Let's find some time to meet." Right? Or you're standing a little bit more casually. You're not right in their face. You're like, "Hey, this is what we do. Is it like that might be a good fit for you?" Make sense? Right? Like,
totally.
One is going to be super obnoxious and you're going to peel away, and the other one is, you're jumping right on that.